Welcome to MindShareTV. I'm your host, Robert Mardlacci, where we spotlight the innovation shaping the future of learning. Today's episode is a very special one and very inspiring. We're joined by student founders behind Questify, a team of grade 11 students from the Peel District School Board who are already making waves nationally and globally. Not only did they win the Startup Challenge at the Canadian EdTech AI Summit, they also took top honors at the Diamond Startup National High School Entrepreneurship Challenge and are now advancing to the Global Challenge next month in the US. This is what the future of innovation looks like, and let's dive in. Joining me today are four very impressive members of the founding team. Redefining, why don't you introduce yourselves and talk to us about the inspiration behind Questify?
Hi, yeah. So first off, I just want to say I'm very excited to be on the podcast again. So I'm Vainavan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Questify. I handle most of the technical backend and AI components for the platform. Madish, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Madish. I'm also a co-founder and co-CEO of Questify, and I'm mostly on the front-end design and the UI and UX of the app.
Hi, my name is Akshat. First off, thanks for having me on the podcast again. It's super exciting. I'm in charge of the operations and marketing, and I work closely with Madish to refine the front end. I also take charge of the daily operations of the business.
Remarkable. Next up.
So we're actually working on our pilot, and we've just gotten started with a lot of big steps in the Questify ecosystem. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback on our idea, especially after the previous podcast. So yeah, we're just really grateful to be here.
Remarkable. And together they built an AI-powered platform focused on helping students learn through practice, feedback, and mastery while supporting teachers with better insight into student progress. Really excited to have you on the show since the last conversation. And as winners of our Startup Challenge at the Canadian EdTech AI Summit, you get to spend time with us here at the workspace, which you've done, and to work directly with me in giving you insight and inspiration and support in helping you evolve your startup. I'm so honored and thrilled to have you part of our Mindshare community. Kudos to you for you're still in grade 11. Most kids in grade 11 are really focused on doing their homework, hanging out with their friends, playing some sports. But take us back to the beginning of what inspired you to start Questify, Vainavan.
Yeah. First off, I just want to mention your video is frozen. Might want to check that.
Okay.
Yeah. But what inspired us was actually a hackathon. It's a coding competition. So me and Madish actually attended an event in Waterloo where we got to go and code for a day straight in a school cafeteria. And what we did, and the theme of the hackathon was actually education. So we had to find a way to use technology to improve education. So we were thinking about what we should do for improving student engagement. And so we were thinking, we scroll on TikTok every day. Why don't we turn that into an actual app? So the idea actually started off as a platform where teachers upload videos and we turn that into quizzes, which is sort of like TikTok. But then we realized we can personalize this even further. Teachers don't want to record videos. We should instead allow the teachers to upload their existing notes and just have those videos be generated on top of that per student.
Fascinating. So winning both the Canadian EdTech AI Summit and the Diamond Startup Challenge is no small feat. What do you think made Questify stand out?
I think it's really just our team dynamics. So we have a very passionate team. We're all very involved in our work. We make sure that have a very loud presence, make sure everyone has equal say, equal power, things like that. So overall, we also have a pretty innovative concept. Lots of students, we're meeting them where they already are. They're already on TikTok, and we just want to bring education into that since that's a problem many students have.
Yeah, so when we talk to students at these actual events, we heard like positive feedback from them saying, I would use this for my physics, I would use this for my math. And our forum currently has around 50 responses, and a lot of the students are like, this is really helpful for so and so topics.
Remarkable. So, rethinking practice and assessment. Questify focuses on practice and mastery. Why do you believe traditional assessment models fall short of today's um, learners?
So I feel like like the world is evolving and we have different tools now, AI and all that. And I feel like we should adapt to them instead of pushing them away. So right currently it's like the education system is going away from like is hesitant to use these tools. But that's where the future is going towards. So I feel like we're not preparing our students well enough for the workforce where these tools are going to be used in the future.
Also, on top of that, the rise of short form content. So students are watching 1 minute videos on TikTok, and it really lowers their attention span, and there's no way to really stop that. So instead, having to adapt to these new standards will really help with education.
AI with purpose. There's a lot of hype around AI. We're launching that micro credential that I shared with you around helping students use AI ethically and responsibly as a result of a KPMG study that found 73% of students are using AI. 77% want to learn how to use it ethically and responsibly. How are you ensuring your platform actually improves learning, not just adds technology?
Yeah, so we have multiple quests and things going on between our videos. So it's not just passive learning that's going on when you're on our app. So as you scroll, we identify the exact topics that the student is learning, and then we're seeing what we can do to improve their understanding. So we assess them on what they've learned in previous videos. In this way, it kind of makes sure that students are actually gaining knowledge and not just watching videos, adding another layer of technology, because we're actually personalizing to maximize that learning amount.
And we're not just dumping the whole, like a whole load of information on the student. We're doing micro learning, as seen in this slideshow here. Micro learning is basically where you take small packets of information and spoon feed it to the student. And we also reinforce this with the quests.
Fascinating. So, building while being students, you're balancing school and building a startup. What's been the biggest challenge, and what have you learned about entrepreneurship along the way? It's no doubt helped you do better in school because you're problem solvers, and a lot of school uh, learning is problem solving, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But also it's a lot of time management. So I think when you're going into entrepreneurship while still being in high school, you kind of have to manage two very intensive, very time and investment heavy tasks, I guess you say. So it's all about making sure you have the right balance and right schedules, because if you even try to skip or adapt to one schedule, everything goes out of whack. So you have to make sure that you have a system for that.
Uh, Feedback from educators and students. What are you hearing from early users or educators? What's been some of the most surprising insights so far? And for me, I was interested to learn in speaking with students over March break that they are still being assessed with pen and paper or pencil and paper. And that to me is kind of a gap in the whole digital transformation paradigm with if we want to personalize learning and understand just in time, with dashboards and where students are at, there's a massive time lag when you still assess with paper and pen.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
So something about that is on our platform itself, we do have this assessment and progress learning tracker. So what we've seen is actually a 10.4% increase in student performance in our quests, which can't be accurately outlined in these pen and paper tests. But what we're seeing is actually an improvement in these tests as well because of the ongoing progress tracking that's happening. So
Yeah, so
overall,
students have already reported that they love this idea, as I mentioned before, and that they've also noticed the lack of transformation that education has gone through because it's still so much behind compared to the advancement of technology.
And again, I just want to add on the reason that they're seeing these differences is because of like the added personalization through our platform and the better like learning techniques like active recall that we are enforcing.
Yeah. So even though we have digital tools, it does help with pen and paper tests, but there are certain use cases where the school system still needs to adapt to these new technologies.
It's remarkable. You and your team are like so leading edge and so fascinating to have you on our show, and to be in grade 11 is remarkable. Your maturity, and you're very well spoken, and it's only going to bode well for you when you go on to university. What do each of you want to study?
Yeah, I think we actually talked about this in our previous podcast. So yeah, I'm going into, biotech, computer science. I'm sure Akshay is as well.
Yeah, so I want to go into biomedical engineering as well.
And as for me, I want to go into aerospace engineering or physics or anywhere in that science category of physics, aerospace, quantum. And anything's open there.
Uh, so impressive. Now on the global stage ahead, you're heading to the global challenge in April. What's your vision for Questify, and what impact do you hope to make on global education in the coming year and months ahead? And how can they get in touch with you if you're seeking some financial support? And I'm sure when folks see this, they'll be happy to lend their support. We will be backing you with our support, and I hope that Peel District School Board will step up in your school. And so, talk to me about the next challenge that you are going to be facing in
Yeah,
April.
we're headed to the Limitless World Summit in Delaware because we recently won the Diamond Challenge semifinals in Canada. We competed against a few other startups, high school startups, and it came out first. And so we've been invited to go out to Delaware, and we're currently looking for sponsors so that we can go get plane tickets, things like that, and represent Canada on the global stage in the US. In terms of how to reach out to us, you can search up Questify Study on LinkedIn, or you can find any of us on LinkedIn as well. And we also have our website, questify.study, that you can go
Yeah,
to.
you please drop something in the chat. There's a public chat that you could share as well here. And yeah, and this coming Friday is National AI Literacy Day, and we hope you can join us on our webinar that we'll be hosting, kicking off our national Schools of the Future Student AI for Wellbeing Challenge. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great.
That
Sounds
pretty
amazing,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get you involved in that to share your inspiration. And what's so inspiring here is that the innovation is no longer confined to institutions or industry. It's directly from students themselves. Questify represents a new generation of creators who are not just preparing for the future, they're actually building it. And that's the beauty of what I see in the future of AI. It's really uh, taking charge of your own personal learning, and that entrepreneurial thinking mindset is actually something that AI cannot replace. So congratulations to the entire Questify team. And on your incredible achievements so far. We'll be watching closely as you head to the global challenge. Thank you for joining MindShareTV. My name is Robert Mardolacci of the MindShare Learning Report. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.
Thank you.